Hi friends, thanks for joining on this podcast. The today topic startup lessons from KGF chapter 1. So there are key five bullet points I'm going to tell you on this session. Um, the first thing is the guy who started as a hero, Rocky. He trying to be learn about a lot of things. He trying to create his own identity. He's trying to learn about branding. He's trying to be stick with some vision and missions, right? And the guy who asking something and he's delivering a dialogue like, "What do you want? I want this world." So it's a very big vision, right? As a startup owner, just think what you're going to do. I want to take this product globally. Like world, it has to consume my product, and that when they wake up, they have to use my product. So that's how the vision and mission get set. The guy who and the KGF director, I don't know how he make the film, but with all these startup lessons or anything, I don't know. But when if a director get a chance to listen to this podcast, he might think, okay, I might think in this way. And nowadays, all the films were talking about business languages, right? Because the entire ecosystem got changed, and earlier of the filmmaking industries were talking about political things, job issues, and love about the caste issues. But now everybody get into a maturity, and now everybody talking about and this business languages in films. So that's where this KGF part 1 and part 2, as both are very interlinked with the startup ecosystem, and every scenes they we are trying to able to correlate with the startup world. So this is the first point, and the second thing, he start like a employee in the KGF team, right? Because he came out of Mumbai, and he got a project like KGF has to you have to do this task and kill this guy, villain guy. So he is trying to be, because he has nowhere he has a startup experience, but he wants to be in the boss of the startup. He started joining in a startup. So that is another important takeaway from this is you need to be part of the startup before you start something new. Either you can take a control of the startup. That is the second part of KGF chapter 2 comes in, that Rocky itself is owner of KGF. So the idea is either you start a startup, and you start your journey in the startup, and you just take over the leadership of the startup. This is a very good example of Google. Sundar Pichai, he started his journey in Google, and he became a CEO. That is the one example. Otherwise, a lot of people are working in the startups, and for example, another good Chennai startup in the SaaS startup. Freshdesk is, they started their career in Zoga, and they quit, and they come back, and they started their own new brand name, right, as a Freshworks. So two scenarios are there, but he started like an employee and learned from things, and they become a CEO of the KGF. That's the second learning. And the third thing, he is trying to build confidence. Okay, so you are started executing things in the startup. So you take up a project work, and you started executing it. But how do you gain a confidence if people has to accept your profile as a CEO, right? How do you build a confidence with your existing team that Rocky is supporting all the people, not directly as an indirectly, he is supporting all the people, and he build a confidence with the team members, so that he delivered things. And that's another good example when you compare with the cricket thing. Like Rocky is there so that we will win. So he is create the mindset with the team, right? The same thing will happen in the cricket matches also. If Dhoni is there, okay, we'll win the match in CSK. If Sachin is there, we'll win the earlier days. Sachin is there, we'll win this one day match. So it's kind of a confidence the entire team will get. The 12 members of team in a cricket team will 11 or 12 members of team will get a confidence because of this one man. So that is very important, that as a leader, as a CEO, you have to build confidence to the entire team that people are following, that this guy will execute, this guy will take you into the next level. So that is another good learning from this movie, that Rocky is building confidence to the entire people crowd. And uh, and final climax is like the fourth point. He killed the villain and he take it into the position. And that time, people people not ready to reject his. Okay, again one more guy is comes in, but again he treated everything as a slave, and again he asked us to work very hard, and but he is not giving any benefits to the employees. That should not be the case in the Rocky way of approaching the his work culture, right? His startup culture. He more benefits to the employees. When you see the chapter 2, more benefits to the employees, and he's take care of the stakeholders, and he is giving proper vision and mission statement to the respective teams. And there are other team people also in the competition trying to build the same villain in a statue opening stage. And then he realized, okay, the risk and the project is even very hard. He is not alone, not the one man can do this. He needs an entire team to take it up to the next level, because you are killing another CEO and you become a CEO in the same company. It's not like everyone has to accept that part. And the final part of this story here is, um, before we go into the final part, I'll take an ad break here. So if you're listening this podcast and if you feel interesting, then there is another startup in the name of Short Fundly. They are providing an OTT marketplace. You can release your short films, web series, album songs, and documentaries, and you can earn from it, and you will get a good amount of viewership through this OTT. So if you are keep chasing with another bigger brands in the OTT space, but you don't get a slot to release your films, then you should definitely try this startup Short Fundly to release your films in the market. And I'm coming back to this KGF chapter 1. And the final part, the final key takeaway from this thing is, um, the merger and acquisition, right? The finally the villain dead. So now Rocky has achieved the target, meaning yes, he's delivered the product. When you compare to the startup case, when he delivered the product and market has picked up, everyone started buying your product, and it's become viral in the industry. Now the entire leadership team is recognized that Rocky is capable, and Rocky is the best resource for us to achieve this mission and vision statement, and everybody started celebrating it. At the same time, the existing team, it's more of a merger and acquisition that is going to happen in the chapter 2. So if you're listening this podcast, at least you should watch 1 or 2 times of KGF chapter 1, then only you can relate the startup experience with this KGF movie. Then only you will be very blind, right? Because the scenes are very close to run by this. The points I'm making here is, every scenes in the KGF are more relevant to startup experience and startup execution. So now the merger and acquisition happened. New board members are comes in, new investors are comes in as part of a team, and how people are ready to take KGF Rocky as a leader, as a CEO, and that is comes in the second part. But the entire team, no one is deny that the entire team is, he saved the people life. At the same time, he brings a lot of benefits to the team. That's why people are celebrating Rocky's victory, because it's not an individual victory, it's a team victory, because everyone trying to kill the villain, and Rocky is helped as part of this journey, and he strategized himself. He come up with the different vision statements, and finally he did that. And so top 5 takeaways from KGF chapter 1, I just conclude. He has learned on how to become a brand, and he has tried to become his own identity. That's the first thing he learned. And second part, he started work in the startup environment so that he can understand the culture and work with the teams, so that people will the team is his core strength. He believe in that. And then he build a confidence, give the confidence to the entire team. He's the one man is enough to take care of the entire execution. That's a third point he built to the entire team. And he took a ownership and the climax, and everybody accept that. No one is going to deny that part. And finally, this merger acquisition, how he handles with the rest of the stakeholders, because it may happen in every startup, in every stages. It has to be move on to the next level. So thanks for listening to this podcast. And if you like this startup lessons that we need to learn from a movie, then give a thumbs up and do share with your friends and family, and support your friends who is doing a startup, supporting them in terms of downloading their app, visit their website, do a simple registration. It will help them to show some numbers to the investors and the rest of the world that my product is working and people are using it. So that is the whole support as you can give from your side, right? As a friend, as a well wisher, you can give this support to this to the startup world. And thanks for listening this KGF chapter 1 startup lessons. And I'll come up with the chapter 2 lessons, and it's very big list I have with me. 10 good lessons I have from KGF chapter 2. Don't miss it. I'll add it in the description, and stay tuned. Thank you.